Hey there, Capricorn. How's it going? Let's do a tarot love reading showing you guys the energy of what is leading up to Valentine's Day. This is going to be for those of you who are in and out of a relationship. I'm going to try and break this up into as many different... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. No way. Guys, Capricorns. Okay, like I was saying, I'm going to try and break this up for as many different people out there I can, those of you in relationships and out of relationships. But tell me, I think you just got the best reading out of all the signs so far. I've done Aries right up to you guys, Capricorn, and the Knight of Cups is at the center of the reading. You've watched these enough, right? You've seen enough tarot readings to know that the Knight of Cups is somebody who comes in with an offer of love, correct? The Knight of Cups is somebody who holds that cup in his hand and he wants to offer that to you. He's the one who's willing to overcome certain challenges, like moving across this water and even going uphill just to figure out what's going on between you two. That is the messenger card. That is the communication card. If you guys have been wondering if your person is going to be coming in to speak with you, yes, absolutely. To top it all off, not only is the messenger card of the Knight of Cups at the dead center of the reading, but it is facing what? The card of commitment. The Hierophant card is here, the card of the priest, the one who wants to marry people together in unity, in marriage, in love. Now, I want to say, you guys know that I love to interpret these cards from a historical perspective. Modern tarot puts this as the card of commitment. But historically speaking, and by the way, you can interpret the same tarot card from both a modern perspective and a historical perspective. You're allowed to do that. So says Arthur Edward Waite when he created this deck, because he told people to read these cards with using their intuition. So if you are drawn to that concept of marriage and commitment, then that is what you are supposed to be drawn to. I tend to be drawn to the historical perspective, but in this reading, I feel like it's both. That's why I'm about to say both of them, and I'm giving you this little preface here. See, historically, the Hierophant card represented the Roman Catholic Church. It's a fascinating story. But the idea from hundreds of years ago in medieval history was that the power of the Roman Catholic Church was way too authoritative and oppressive, and there were certain groups of people who wanted that power to crumble down. And so, because of that historical concept that Arthur Edward Waite talked about in the medieval ages, having a potential connection to these cards, the Hierophant card suddenly becomes this energy of rigid thinking, rigid and dogmatic rules. Think institutions, because this is an institutional church, right? But when we think of that story from the macrocosm of history and we pull it into the microcosm of your life, then it insinuates that you or somebody that you're dealing with, your person perhaps, has had a rigid thinking system. They have just been boxed in where they think that things can only go one way. It has to be this way or no way. It is causing a limited view. So difficulties that you might have had in the past with this person could have been because they were so rigid. They were like, it's a little bit of like a black and white thinking coming out of that dynamic. But when you have somebody approaching you, like this King of Cups, and riding towards this energy of the Hierophant card, then it stems to reason that this person who now wants to lead with their heart, instead of all of the rigid systems of rules, is getting into the preparation stage. They might not even realize this spiritually. This could also be you, because we have Jacinth and Boaz here, so it's got a mirroring effect, right? Both of you could be entering into this phase if you are with someone, and I'll talk about for those of you who are not in a moment. If you are with someone, you could be entering this phase, or they could be entering this phase where they are beginning to become ready to pull away at this darn old rule system they were giving themselves. All of this idea of it has to be this way, it has to be that way. Especially in the realms of money, if somebody has been trying to orchestrate the way that they deal with institutions. This could be jobs, careers, their offices, their education, even for those of you dealing with courses. They may have been wanting to hold off on professing their emotions to you because they wanted their rule system to be in effect first. They wanted their lifestyle first. They wanted their money first. It's almost like this person didn't necessarily have room to be making changes because they wanted things to be in such a rigid fashion. But again, the heart is now beginning to lead at the center of this reading, which is really nice. I also love, guys, that the Ace of Pentacles is here. Come on. Again, how can I not have been so excited at the beginning of this reading? The Ace of Pentacles historically is a great opportunity being given to you and your person potentially, like the hand of God giving an outcome that is so good, it causes a long-term stability and security as the outcome. And what does long-term stability and security look like? That means you're balanced in your home, your finances, your love life all at once. Everything becomes stable, foundationally secure, so that when rocky situations happen, and they inevitably do, the foundation that you've built with a certain person is so strong that nothing can topple it over. So for those of you in a relationship, this is where I break it down, like I said. For those of you who are in a relationship, your person could, leading up to Valentine's Day, be wanting to talk to you about taking the next step in committing in a different way. Or if you're already committed, maybe you're already married, they might be wanting to approach some kind of a growth or opportunity with you to make and ensure that stability comes for you. They may be willing to take down rigid systems that they were dealing with. For those of you who are not in a relationship with someone and you have separated, this is like if you have broken up with someone, someone's coming back to you. This is somebody who wants to talk about that avenue of commitment and wants to offer their love. For those of you who have not dealt with somebody, then this is a new person who's going to be communicating with you. Some of you out there, perhaps you don't even have your eye on anybody and you are just getting into the realms of thinking that you want to start dating. The Ace is all about new things, right? So you could have a new opportunity for some kind of communication, an announcement even from somebody about how they want to hang out, get to know you a little bit. It's really fascinating. But let's not stop there, shall we? Let's shuffle a little bit more and let's see what they want to talk about, because somebody's coming to communicate with you. Someone is making an announcement and I want to know what. What do they want to talk about? Ooh, the Queen of Pentacles is here. The Queen of Pentacles is the one who contemplates. You can tell when you look at the card. I'm talking historically, right? Yes, she's very grounded. Yes, with the rabbit, there's fertility as a possibility and someone who wants to expand on family. But the way that Arthur Edward Waite described her over 100 years ago when he made this deck was about contemplation. That's why she's sitting there staring at the coin in her hand. This coin. She values something. Your person may very well value you and value the dynamic that you have with one another. And they have been contemplating. She is also the one who uses a serious tone of intelligence and intellect when she makes her decisions. So this person just hasn't been likely just contemplating whimsily or flippantly, but this is somebody who genuinely is contemplating with a sense of like strategy, really trying to piece together how they can bring something of a wish fulfillment into the dynamic of your guys' life. I want to mention though that when this card is in the reversal, the Nine of Cups, it is still an energy of wish fulfillment, but a person is really, really interested in making sure that there are no unrealistic elements to what you guys are dealing with. This can be the card of wishful thinking. So this person has been contemplating whether or not committing and joining together or taking a next step or having some kind of a new opportunity is realistic or not. But remember, we're in the section of this reading about what they want to talk about. So they want to talk about how much they've been contemplating the situation that brings the best results and doesn't teeter into like unrealistic energy. They want to talk about their commitment ideas. They want to talk about what their wishes are and what their wishes are, like what parts of those wishes make them nervous. That's what it feels like. Because again, this is a card of wishful thinking and unrealistic energy. But because this person is contemplating right next to it, then you get that dynamic that somebody is like hyper analyzing how to make sure they cross their T's and dot their I's in the realms of love. They take a very intellectual approach to this. So I'm going to leave you guys off with that. And join me if you want over on TikTok where I have some more tarot readings for you for your specific sign here, which I think you guys will enjoy. Some free readings and some unlockable membership readings as well. Thank you very much for this, and ciao for now.